y'all know I'm not about to talk with this mask on. I just want to show y'all what I've been out here doing. So, welcome. How y'all doing? Are y'all enjoying this weather? Oh my gosh. It just went from cold to like 80 degrees the past 3 days. I'm loving it. I just don't like to be cold. So I am enjoying it. I wish I had me some little outside chairs so I could sit outside and really enjoy it. But it's okay. So today's topic is smart investments. Before we get started, I just want to take this time to praise God for a second. If it wasn't for that car accident that I was in back in August, um, I would have never known that my daughter had um, chronic fluid on her brain, meaning that it had been there since birth. And that led to her getting the MRI, which, led to the doctors figuring out why this fluid was on her brain. So the reason is um, a vein grew in the spot where her spinal fluid is supposed to be released from her brain. And so since it's there, it's not being released like it's supposed to. So it's like piling up in her head, and that's why she have headaches and all this other stuff. So I'm glad, thank God for that accident. If it wasn't for that, these doctors would have never had a reason to just look at her brain and see what was happening inside of her body. So thank God, she got to have surgery, but they haven't scheduled it yet because of the virus and stuff that's going on. So we got to do some more waiting, but you know at least we know what's going on and that it can be fixed and that my baby is going to be healed. So thank God for that. Y'all like my mask? Woo! Yes, I'm over here making masks, you guys. Gotta put in that work. Investing in myself. I spent my whole life investing in other people, jobs, and all that. And when I look at my bank account and I look at the stuff I have, it seems like those were pretty bad investments. And what I have been learning in my finance class is that every day is a risk, but there is always a formula to help you figure out which risk is basically the best investment for you. See, before I started this journey with God, I always looked at what was right in front of me. I never looked towards the future. I was always living in the now. Like right now, I need a job. Right now, I need this income to pay these bills. But later, once I get, settled, that's what they always say. Once I get settled, then I start focusing on, you know, bigger investments. But it just seemed like when it always got time, when you got to that point where you feel like, okay, I'm comfortable, now I can start bigger investments. Here comes this wave. Knock everything over, and then you like, now I gotta start all over. I was just at the point where I could big investments, and now I gotta start all over. But taking these business classes, it has also taught me you can't just focus on the now. You might just miss out on the opportunity. For real. Because it's like, I think back to how many opportunities that was sent my way, but because I was looking at right now, I was like, well, I want to do it, but right now, the way my funds set up, I can't do it. They go that C word, I can't. But you can go to a job for 2 weeks without pay, but you can't do this investment that would give you a bigger return. That's that slave mind, thinking just because something is guaranteed that it's the better investment. And even though that job seems guaranteed, if they don't feel like you like meet production, then it won't be guaranteed no more. If they feel like you just don't fit their business, it won't be guaranteed anymore. So really, nothing is guaranteed. But that's the way our mind is set up to believe that just because I clock in, my money is guaranteed more than if I took a chance on myself. So, and instead of investing in people, I started investing in God. Yeah, it was scary. It was new. Anything new is scary because it's like I never explored this territory, this world before. What if it don't work out? What if it don't work out? But, at least you gave it a shot. You know what I'm saying? You gave all these other investments a shot to prove if they was going to be a good investment or not. Why not give God a shot to prove himself? And I've never known God to lead you anywhere wrong. He's going to give you truth, and he's going to give you a strong foundation so that, when you get to where you've been praying for, that foundation is going to be so strong that nobody's going to be able to shake it. It's just like that parable that's in the Bible where it's like a smart man builds his house on a rock and the foolish man builds his house on the sand. And when that wind and everything come, the smart man house is still there because he built it on a stronger foundation than that foolish man who built it on sand. So yeah, I started investing in God more. And the more I invested in God, I realized he was invested in me also. It started off, just going to church every Sunday. And that was the basics because that's what I've been doing all my life anyways. I don't know about any other black home, but my black home, you had to go to church every Sunday. There was no excuses except for if you was like sick, you might get to stay home. Other than that, don't nobody care about you being sleepy or none of that. You got to get up and go to church. So it started out with the basis of going to church every day. I mean, not every day, but every Sunday. And then, then it turned to going to church every Sunday and making sure I pray every night before I went to bed. Because sometimes you never know. You be so tired from the day that you just get into bed and go to sleep and forget to, thank God for just getting you through that day. Because He couldn't have been protecting you. And, one wrong move, and that would have been the last time you was breathing. So, no matter how tired I am, before I even get in the bed, I make sure I say my prayers first because I know once I get in that bed, it's over with. It's a wrap. My eyes is like, I'm out of there. Gone. Delete. But from praying every night to now, I'm going to church. Well, not right now because everybody on lockdown. But going to church 3 times a week. Wednesday and twice on Sundays because, we have regular service during the day and at night we have Bible study. So 3 times a week, and that encouraged me to start reading every day. So now I read 1 chapter every day, and that turned into, going on Saturdays and doing outreach with the church, which, I'm sorry, my daughter just ran to the door, I think. What?
I heard myself.
I know, I heard. Why are you running into the door? Her and this Barbie, she done broke the leg off, and now I gotta fix it like every couple of days. Why is your Barbie naked? Get out.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love you, Mommy.
I love you too. So, doing the outreach. And at first I saw that as, investing in God, which I am investing in God. But at the same time, it's helping me to invest in myself by doing these things like going to church and going out here and doing this outreach. It is teaching me how to be committed to something and to stay consistent. Malia, go ahead with that dog. It's gonna keep coming off.
Please. Thank you.
Also.
Okay.
Yeah, it was teaching me to stay consistent and committed to something. It was also helping me to not just learn how to talk to people, but how to connect. Because it's one thing to talk to people, but to really connect with them and they can feel, that you really care and that you're really genuine about the things that you are talking to them about. That's a whole different level because anybody can talk. But for somebody to feel that vibe that you actually really care, that you actually serious about the stuff that you're saying, that's a whole nother different level. And so my investments was coming back to me. And I didn't even realize it at first. I'm like, I'm doing this for God, but my returns, they coming back quick. I might not be completely perfect right now, but I'm way better than I was 6 months ago. The thought of going out here talking to people was terrifying. I used to ask people all the time, like, what do you say to somebody? Like, Because it seems like when I go to talk to people, it's always this little awkwardness, like, okay, what do I supposed to say? But the more I do it, the more comfortable I'm getting. And all that fear you have in the beginning, because this is a new thing, a new investment, over time, it start fading to the point that it's like, no, you no longer a fear. And you're like, why was I so fearful of that anyways? Why did I let that control me and hold me back so long? And it's not even that scary, that terrifying. But the devil likes to hinder you. He likes to hinder your growth. So he gonna put that fear in you because he know where God's trying to take you. He don't want you to get there. So he gonna throw that fear in there to, shake you, slow you down, even, lead you away from, what you got going on. And for some people, the way that I'm learning or moving, it might feel like I'm moving slow to them. But to God, I'm moving at the perfect speed. Because, it's not all about speed. What if I went through these things real quick and didn't learn anything? That's kind of like how when I do my homework, I just, I don't take the time to really read the information they tell me to read. I just complete the homework. So it's like, what did I actually learn from doing that homework? Did I even learn anything? Probably just the bare minimum, just to answer the question. Because I just wanted to hurry up and get the homework done, that I wasn't taking the time to really, later, that I wasn't really taking the time to really absorb the information and what I was learning. So, investing in God taught me how to invest in myself and my future. And my future is not just about me, it's also about my child. When I read my chapter every day, I make sure I say it out loud so that, it's not that I'm just reading it myself. She can hear it too. So we're reading this chapter together. And although, looking at her, it might seem like she not paying attention, because sometimes she be on the phone, and I'd be like, is she even listening? Put that phone away. But the crazy thing is, she be listening. Because just randomly out the blue, she'd be like, so what that mean? Why that guy did that? What's going on in this little part? I'm like, so she is listening. Just because she's not looking at me doesn't mean she's not listening. And, you know, if I had somebody to teach these things to me at a younger age, I wouldn't be here as an adult trying to learn it. But it's okay. I'm going to learn it. And I'm going to do better than what I had. I'm going to teach her the stuff now, so when she become an adult, she won't have it as hard as me. She won't be struggling as bad as I have struggled trying to do this adulting thing, because adulting is really hard. You got to make all these hard decisions. You got to look at future investments and know, is this going to double my money, or am I going to actually lose everything? And before, I was making bad investments. I was investing in people that after words, I was leaving out with less than I had going in. But when I started investing in God, He started giving me truth. He started showing me how to help people that it doesn't hurt me, and also what people to invest in. Because some people, they're just they're leeches. It's so true. They pretend like they need help just to suck you dry, and then once you're done and there's nothing left to suck, they leave you to die. That's what they do. So God has been showing me what people that I can invest in that's not going to do that. People that really want help, that want to do something different, that wants different. So, you know, I'm building my child's, not only am I teaching her the things that I didn't learn when I was younger, I'm also building her confidence. Because that's one thing that I've struggled with my whole life is my self-esteem. I always felt like I was just ugly because I was always picked on. I was always told I had a big nose, a big forehead. I was super skinny. And, I grew up and had a complex. I never thought I was good enough or pretty enough because of the words of people that said they loved me. Most of that stuff was coming from family members. And they said it in a jokingly way, but even as a joke, if somebody says something so much, you start to believe it. So I've changed that, and I do different with my daughter because I hear parents that's cuss their kids out, call them stupid, said they just like their daddy, speaking all that negative stuff into their child, and then when they grow up and they ain't shit people, then they like, where did I go wrong? Why are you like this? It's because how you was speaking to them. They heard that stuff every day until they started to believe it. So when I talk to my daughter, I tell her she's intelligent. I tell her she's beautiful. I tell her that, she can use her mind and not her body to get places in life, because a lot of women are led to believe that you can only get somewhere if you use your body, that you can't just use your mind and conquer the world, just like these guys out here do. So I continue to build myself and build her. So investing in me is investing in her and my legacy, because she's going to continue on the legacy one day. So I got to make sure she's prepared and ready to continue whatever God helps me build. See, in Matthew 25:34, it says, then the king will say to those on his right, come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since creation of earth. See, God has been investing in you since before you was even born, even thought of. Your parents was even thought of. He already has stuff lined up for you. That's what a good parent does. And that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm not saying you a bad parent if you can't, because I understand. I'm a single parent. I understand. It can be hard sometimes trying to invest in the future when you barely got what you need for right now. You can barely feed your family, you can barely pay your bills. So how can you even think about the future? But it takes faith. It really do. Faith in God. I think my rubber band coming off. It feels weird. This whole time since my car accident, I've been sitting here. And although I've been scared, I chose to trust God. And He's been making it happen. I'm telling you. Invest in God. Invest in Him. It's going to be scary. And most days, it might even feel like, okay, God, are you going to do something? Are you still up there? But He's working it out. He's working it out so that everything is lined up perfectly. And, sometimes on this journey, I want to give up. I want to give in. Sometimes I feel like it's too hard. And despite feeling exhausted all the time, like today, I feel like I've been sleeping most of the day. I don't know what's going on, but I've been super tired today. And despite being exhausted, being broken, because it's hard to try to heal yourself when you got somebody around, because they always looking at you. They always like, what's wrong with you? Why are you crying? Why this? Why you in the room? Why you sleeping all the time? Why you in the bed? What do you say? I'm hurt. I'm broken. And I don't know how to fix myself. But I'm trying to. Because I know that you need me. And how much I just want to give up and wither away. But I don't. Because I know God has a plan for me to fulfill. And you need me to be here to protect you and to love you. But sometimes it get hard. But my love for God and my daughter is what makes me get up out the bed when I don't want to. And that's for real. Some days I just want to lay there and just go to the light. But then that would make me selfish. So I keep going, I keep growing, and always adapting to change for a better future for me and my child. Yes. Don't get stuck looking at the now, because the now might show you what you already know you're going to get. But if you take a chance and invest in God, You might have to wait a little bit. I'm not going to say it's going to be instant. You might have to wait a little bit. But your return is going to be so much greater. It's going to be 3 times, 10 times the return you was going to get if you would have thought about the now. See, God is the greatest investment you could ever make, because his return has that high interest rate. You know, that interest rate that like title loans and stuff have. You be like, whoo, your interest rate is how much? 28.7%. That's like $14 a day. So if I take out this $50, y'all gonna charge me $14 a day until I pay it back. But imagine you invested in God, and he got that high interest rate like that, and instead of taking, he giving. So instead of somebody taking that $14 a day, you gaining $14 a day on top of what you initially invested. So don't get, stuck in what you know, and that you end up missing out on the greatest opportunity of your life. It's kind of like when those people be like, I'd rather work with the lesser evil or the evil that I know. I'm not saying God evil for all the people that's about to come on here and be like, oh my gosh, she's saying God evil. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is people get so caught up in just sticking to what they know, because it's like, I already know, I know what the good, I know the bad, I know how this whole situation works, that it benefits and gives me what I temporarily want. But if I try to, invest in this new opportunity, that means I'm going to have to relearn everything. I'm going to have to learn the good, the bad. I'm going to have to learn new things and adapt to new things. And I don't know if I want to do that. So you miss out on a great opportunity, and you be sad and miserable because you're like, dang, I should have took that opportunity. But I was just so focused on the now that I let it bypass me. So the question, this is my last question, and I'm going to get off of here. God wants to know, are you for him or are you against him? Are you ready to join the royal army, or are you going to continue to be one of the devil's minions? He know you know what is the right choice, the right answer. So it's now time for you to make the decision. What are you going to do? Because God is in the transitions of making his next move. And you need to decide, are you going to be on the journey for him or against him? So he cannot no longer wait for you, because you're procrastinating things and slowing things down, and he ready to go. So it's time to make your choice. He believes in you. He knows you smart and intelligent, and he knows you're going to make the right choice. So go ahead and choose it and stop wasting time. I'll see y'all next Saturday. Next Saturday. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all coming in and watching my videos. See y'all later. Invest in God. He's your greatest return. Is this still going?